Everyone, welcome to Jackson Law Podcast. This is a podcast where I review and document my learning progress, share my lessons, and more. Today's episode is another episode of the entire series. Again, this is a video episode. If you want the best learning experience, please check out the video version. The link is in the episode notes. If you still want to keep listening to this podcast, it's alright. And without further ado, let's begin. So today's topic is Thai consonant cluster. I think this is the last uh, fundamental episode, fundamental course, or last episode on the fundamental stuff. Then we will move on to maybe some practice, or we will just move on to another stage of the Learn Thai series. So this is episode 32, Thai consonant clusters, and today I will talk about four types of Thai consonant clusters. The first one is gliding cluster. The second one is leading ho hip and leading o ang. The third one is false cluster, and the final one would be implicit vowel. For this one, we have type 1 and type 2, and you will see what do you mean by that type 1 and type 2. Study material and everything, or most of the stuff I will talk about this episode are taken from in website thailanguage.com. Again, the link is in the episode notes or the description. So let me show you the website. So this is what it looks like inside a Thai syllable part 2. Of course we have part 1, but part 1 I think there's no need for me to talk about part 1 because nothing new. But part 2 is important because everything in part 2 is about Thai consonant cluster, and when you learn Thai words later on, you will encounter many Thai consonant clusters. So that's why I put it in the foundation series, Learn Thai Foundation series. So again, this is the website. This is study material for this episode. Feel free to check it out. Now let's talk about consonant cluster. What is consonant cluster? In English, we have the similar thing. So consonant cluster is the thing where we put two consonants together and then we make a sound. So here we have four words, simple, very simple. Examples: clock, clock. So this is the Thai, not Thai. This is the consonant cluster. We have the C plus L. Both are consonant. We have blow, blow. Again, B plus L. Snow, S plus N. And final one, 12. T plus W. All of these are the examples of consonant cluster. So in Thai, we have the same thing, Thai consonant cluster, but we further divide them into categories because we have many types. So I will show you one by one. So the first one is gliding cluster. Gliding cluster is the one that is the easiest to understand because in English we have the same thing. Gliding cluster. So if you check out the website, the name is True Consonant Cluster. I used a different name. I used a different name just because I think this make more sense to me or easy for me to understand to learn stuff. But it doesn't really matter which name you use for different case, because in real life we don't care unless you're studying the language, the linguistic thing, and then that is when you need to pay attention to the terms. But in general, we don't need to care. But here in the website, it says true consonant cluster. That refers to gliding cluster, which is the name I used for this case, for this category. So the definition is here in this box. So we have two sets of consonants. Two sets of consonants when we have a bunch of combination of some combination they falls into this category, the gliding cluster. So gliding cluster, gliding sound with two consonants. When we blend together, we can make a smooth sound. So for example, in English, similar case, we have C plus L, C, K, K, L, L. When we put it together, we can make a smooth sound, cl, cl, cl. We transition from the C to L smoothly, clock, clock. So in Thai, same thing. So these consonants I take from the Thai the website. So we have two rows. The first row, the second row. This table shows you all the combinations. We have the first one, 個雞可雞可快多豆波啦婆潘婆pan. And below the Thai alphabet, I have written the English, the sound, just for your quick reference. Right now, we don't need to care the class, the initial and final sound. No, I just show you the cluster. So I have written down the English letters, just to for our convenience. So for the second word, we have 羅勒、羅鏈、羅鏈, not 羅鏈, 羅鏈, and 和環, RLW. So we pick one of them in each row, and we have a combination of the gliding cluster. That's the theory. That's a theory. In real life, it may be different, because once I introduce a couple more categories, like the second one, the third one, fourth one, then you will have some questions, and I'll talk about that at the end of this episode. So let's talk about let's look at some examples. The first word is 寡. I think it's 寡. Where is it? Yeah, the first word is 寡. This word is taken from the website, so let's break it down. First of all, we identify the consonant, the vowel, and the tone marks. Oh, plus here. Okay. So the consonant, again, this is a consonant cluster where 個雞 and 和環 are put together. So G, you can say the 個雞 refers to the letter G, the 和環 refers to the W, and we put together, we can make a 過 sound. We plus the vowel, sara a, gua. Then we add the tone marks. This tone mark, I didn't put the tone rule chart here in this episode, so you need to study the tone rule before you keep watching this video again. But I will still explain to you why we have such tone. So here, consonant cluster, we need to pay attention how we determine the tone and where to write the tone mark. So the first one, finding out the tone. With a rule, the tone of a syllable is determined by the first letter, first consonant. The first consonant. Again, this is not true for all the case. We have some exceptions, and I will talk about that in the implicit vowel type 2, and you know. But for the most of the cases, the tone is determined by the first consonant. So which means the 個計 which tells you the tone. Now, 掛 we have life ending. 個計 is mid class. If we have a tone mark, then the whole thing would be low sound, and that is why we pronounce 掛. The second example is 那個列. Maybe we can just focus on the second syllable, 那個列, the 個列 sound. Let's break it down. First of all, consonant, we have 個計 plus 羅連, which refers to the G plus L, gl. Then we have the vowel สระอี. Then we have a final consonant, which is โดเด็ก refers to, because it is a final consonant, we can think of it as a T stop, T at the end, T end. So we put everything together because we don't have a tone mark here. The tone of this syllable is determined by the class of the consonant. We use the same rule, the 個計, which tells you the tone of this syllable. Because we have a final consonant, a T stop, a T end, that means we have a dead ending. If we have a dead ending, we need to look at the nature of the vowel. Is it a long vowel or short vowel? This time we have long vowel. So dead ending plus long vowel. And we take a look of the mid class, the tone rule for mid class. Then we have low sound. So put everything together. Consonant cluster plus the vowel. Consonant cluster gl plus vowel glia plus final consonant glia plus the tone glia. 那個列. That's how we make the sound. So this is the consonant cluster. Like the first category of Thai consonant cluster, which is the gliding cluster. Second one, the second thing, I will change the order a little bit. So I will talk about the false consonant cluster after I've talked about the leading consonant cluster. Leading consonant with leading 可協 and leading 我硬. I don't know how to explain it, but I think if you take a look of the example that I will show you very soon, you will get it. So let's jump into the example right away. Leading 可協 first. Leading 可協 means when we have two consonants put together, the first consonant is either 可協 or 硬. That's why we have the name leading 可協 or leading 硬, because the consonant is the first one. Is the first one. First type, leading 可協. First word, we have a consonant cluster 可協 plus 諾 nu, no nu. Then we have a vowel, sala u, sala u. Here, leading on or leading ho hip, we don't need to pronounce ho hip or ang. The thing, the consonant is silent. So we just need to focus on the second consonant, which is no nu in the case in this case. But why we have this kind of category? So the function of leading ho hip and leading o is to change the tone class. Tone class. So let's take a look of the example, and I'll explain along the way. We use the same rule. First of all, consonant, because we don't need to pronounce the ho hip, so the consonant is n, n sound, and then we plus the vowels, so u, nu, nu. Then the tone. What is the tone? The tone is determined by the rule that we have used, and that is the tone is determined by the first consonant, which is ho hip. Now, ho hip is high class. Life ending, because we have sala u, we can make the sound longer. U, sala u. High class plus life sound is rising tone. So consonant no nu, plus vowel nu plus rising sound nu. So this is how we pronounce the word nu. So why we have this leading on? If you take a look of the tone rule chart, no nu is low class, right? Low class. If you take a look at the low class, the rule for low class, you cannot see rising sound or low sound. So that means if we want to access the rising tone and the low tone, we need to change the class. Low class does not have these tones, but for high class and mid class we have. I think in mid class, I'm not sure, but high class definitely we have a rising tone and the low tone. If we disregard the final tone marks, the little cross thing is very rare. It's very rare. We usually right now I have learned a bunch of vocabulary. I just encounter one word that has a cross tone mark. So if we disregard the tone mark thing, in general, if we want to access the rising tone or low tone, we need to change the low class to high class. So to do that, we have a leading ho hip, which change the no nu from low class to high class. This you can understand in this way, or you can just memorize the first rule, the rule that we've talked about, and that is the tone is determined by the first consonant. Right now we haven't changed anything, but I have two ways to interpret the tone determination for our leading ho hip. So the first interpretation is by using the rule. The second interpretation is that we want to change the class so that we have access to other sound, other tones. Now, second example, consonant cluster ho hip plus lo ling, which refers to H plus L. We have a vowel sa a. And then we have a final consonant, which is ng, which is ng sound. Leading 可氣, we don't need to pronounce the H sound, but it affects the tone of this word. Consonant, 落連 l plus vowel la plus final consonant lang. Then the tone is determined by 可氣. Now we have high class consonant, we have high class, we have life ending because we have make the sound longer. So it is again a rising tone. Lang. So that's how we do the sound. So this is the leading 可氣. What about leading 我昂? Leading 我昂. If we take a look of the website, leading 我昂, we have 4 words that falls into this category. So it is very rare. Examples, we don't have many examples for leading 我昂, but for leading 可氣, it is very common. It's very common. But we use the same logic. Let's say this word, consonant cluster 我昂 your ya. Yes, your ya. Plus we have a vowel, plus we have a tone mark. Leading 我昂, we don't need to pronounce 我昂. So the sound is 有呀 y yeah plus we plus the vowel, so u you. Then we have a tone mark. We have 我昂. We use 我昂 to determine the tone. 我昂 is mid class plus that tone mark is low sound. So you plus low tone you. So that's the pronunciation of this word you. So I think I should split the episode into 2 because it's way longer than I expect. So today we just covered the first 2. The first one is gliding clustered, and the second one is the leading 可氣 and leading 我昂. So in the next episode, I will talk about the last 2, which is false consonant clustered and the implicit vowel type 1 and type 2. Again, this is Jackson Law Podcast. This is the video episode. If you want the best learning experience, check out the video version. And I will see you in the next episode. Out.